Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your February 2019 general reading. I hope everybody's having a lovely new beginning to this beautiful new year. Welcome to everybody here. Welcome to any newcomers and to any returning people. And thank you for those of you who continue to follow my YouTube channel. And for those of you who take the time to send in your support, feedback, and comments. I always read them, even though I don't often respond to very many of them, but I do read all of your comments. So thank you for taking the time to send them. And to all of my clients out there, I always offer out a big thank you for keeping me so busy, both regular clients and new clients, with personal one-on-one readings. If anyone is interested in a personal reading with me, you can get more info and contact details by clicking on the description bar below or the description bar attached to any of my videos that I post. You can also go to my YouTube channel's homepage and click on that little About button. Please feel free to email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. Turnaround time for personal readings is pretty good, as I do readings full-time 5 to 6 days a week. It is what I do, so I work pretty diligently with people's schedules to get them a reading as quickly as possible, live or recorded, and I can usually get back to you within the same day or the first 24 hours of your initial contact. And I do a wide variety of readings in all areas of life, of all different types and lengths. It's always when I'm doing a reading something pops up on my screen, so hopefully you guys can't hear the little bell sound it made. If you do, I apologize. Goodness. Okay. All right, let's move right into this reading. This is for Gemini for the month of February 2019. The air sign of Gemini are twins. Let's see what's in store for you for February 2019. If you know your rising and moon sign, watch those videos as well for additional clarification. General readings, as you know, can always resonate a little differently for everybody because there's so many of you watching. All right, Gemini are twins. All right, Gemini, around the first week or so of February, we have the Knight of Pentacles, followed by the Seven of Wands. Around the second week, we have the Six of Cups, followed by the World. Around the third week or so, we have the Page of Swords, followed by the Eight of Cups. And around the last week or so, at or towards the end of February, we have the Queen of Wands with the Ten of Wands. And from the bottom of the deck, your crowning card representing overall energy and guidance for the month of February, we have the Ace of Wands. So exciting new beginnings is the overall energy for February 2019. This is a brand new beginning or an opportunity for one, as aces represent the number one, so they always represent a new start, a new beginning, a new path, but they are seeds, and as you know, seeds don't turn into anything if you don't plant them at the right time, nurture them, feed them, prune them as they grow so that they can grow and manifest into their full potential, which usually ends up giving back to us what we've put into whatever this new beginning represents. So the seeds of a new beginning, a new opportunity, and it's Wands energy. It's the Ace of Wands, so it's a new beginning with the element of fire. So it's very passionate, creative. It's kind of like a spark that has the potential to turn into something much bigger. A lot of excitement, enthusiasm, and passion. Now, it looks like for a lot of you Geminis, you have an offer coming in if it hasn't already. I am recording these in the last few days of January, so for some of you, timing always being kind of fluid. It could be around the end of January, beginning of February. We have a very tangible, practical offer coming in with the Knight of Pentacles, clarified by the Seven of Wands. So Earth energy. Knights are typically the bringers, the deliverers of the tarot, so they usually represent offers and opportunities coming in, and also they can represent the speed at which a situation moves. I've actually often heard the Knight of Pentacles referred to as slow-moving energy, but I don't always necessarily feel that way, because all of the Knights are known for situations which move rather quickly, because all of the Knights are known for being rather spontaneous, impulsive, single-minded. They're all about missions and quests. So they all represent situations that are moving more rapidly than conventional speeds of situations. But out of all four of the knights, the Knight of Pentacles moves the slowest because he's governed by the element of earth. He's a bit more slow, steady, step-by-step, reliable. He's not prone to missing anything by rushing through it as well. Very sincere, loyal, practical energy here. Often the Knight of Pentacles shows up for perhaps a new job offer, an offer of practical help or resources of some kind. It can be something as simple as, you know, somebody offering to help you move or offering to give you some kind of practical or physical assistance or resources or money even sometimes. A practical or tangible offer coming in. It is clarified by the Seven of Wands. And the Seven of Wands is defensive energy. I feel like I mean, this can be defensive in a good way, standing up for yourself or someone else, something that you believe strongly in, a belief system or something you've put a lot of work and effort into it, because this man is guarding his castle, his keep, his home, something that means a lot to him because he has a lot invested in it. He feels it might be being threatened or challenged. This can represent having belief systems challenged, or just something that you've invested a lot into, whether it's actual work, time, or thought and energy into it as well. But sometimes it can represent being unnecessarily defensive too. And I feel like for some of you there's an opportunity coming in. Well, I feel like for all of you there's an opportunity coming in as represented by the Nine of Pentacles. Some of you, I feel like you're going to have to defend this opportunity against other people's opinions. You may be getting some negative flack about whatever this is. Some of you, you may be taking a new job or a new career path or starting something new, a new project of some kind. You might be moving or relocating. And I feel like you might be getting, I feel like this is something you've worked for, you've wished for, you've wanted for quite some time. But again, you may be getting some negative flack or opinions from people around you. It could be family as well, or family and friends, because you're starting this new beginning, or whatever this new beginning represents for you. Means that you're going to have to end something else. You're going to have to end one chapter so that you can start this new chapter. And I don't feel like, and that's the way it is with new beginnings. Not everybody that's in our environment is always willing to come with us, you know, on this new journey or support us on this new journey. And some of you may have to kind of take a stand and stand firm about whatever this offer, this opportunity is. For some of you, you might be, it might be somebody close to you, or there is an opportunity coming in. Somebody close to you might be starting something new, or have the opportunity to start something that's going to require them doing something, maybe taking them away from you for a time or moving on into the next chapter of their life, and for some reason you're resisting that. Some of you, it might be that there is this new beginning coming in for you, but you are somewhat resistant to it because it represents leaving something old and established behind, or familiar behind. But it's something that needs to come to an end regardless of what the specifics and details are, because it's general reading, so the specifics and details of the situation is going to vary depending on, you know, what's going on in the lives of everyone watching. Some of you, it might be a child leaving home for the first time. They might be going away to school or to college as well, or getting married. And even though it might be in the natural flow of things, you might be rather resistant to that as well. But there's something that definitely has run its course that's attached to your past or to home and family. You know, there's a chapter that's coming to an end that needs to, which is what we see next, reflected in the Six of Cups and the World. So the Six of Cups is a card that often represents, there's a strong association with the past, reminiscence, nostalgia, childhood, roots of origin, family, relatives, where you grew up, how you grew up, a time when you were more childlike and carefree about things. It can represent things which have been in your life for quite some time, situations or people or places, or a combination of all of those things as well. Sometimes it can represent a soulmate connection to another individual too. Soulmate doesn't necessarily mean in the romantic sense. but the ties are there nonetheless, because they're ties which come from long connections and history, if not actual blood and family. So what clarifies the Six of Cups is the World, the last major arcana card in the deck, and this is a card of completion, of achievement, of reaching the top of a mountain and pausing not only to consider how far you've come, but to look forward and see what's lying ahead for you. The very first major arcana card in the tarot is the Fool, and he has the 0 at the top of his card. He's just starting out on the journey, and all the cards after that are about the Fool's journey through life and all the trials and tribulations, success and triumphs and failures and defeats, and everything that we learn as we grow and evolve along the path, because it's our journey too, until we get to the end. The World is the last major arcana card in the deck, the Fool having ideally reached the top of the mountain, the sense of achievement before moving on. So a major cycle is completing, a major chapter of your life is ending, and is meant to. It feels like there's a natural flow to this. Whatever this Knight of Pentacles is, an opportunity coming in with this kind of exciting new beginning, whether it's for you or someone close to you. It is in the natural scheme of things, and even though something which has been in place, or a way of life which has been in place, or a situation or relationship which has been there for quite some time, this particular part of the cycle, this chapter, is ending in a pretty complete way so that you move forward. It doesn't necessarily mean that any relationships are ending in terms of being cut off. It might be that for some of you, but I feel like the type of relationship, or the way that it has been, particularly if it's a parent and child, a chapter is ending because it's meant to. This is an organic process, and you're moving into a new chapter, and the relationships will evolve and change and grow as well. So this is definitely something, in order for this new offer and opportunity, in order for this to progress forward, this chapter, this cycle has to end. And it's meant to. It's a positive thing. Now next to that we have the Page of Swords and the Eight of Cups. So pages can represent messages, messengers, young people, children. It might be a child or a young person for some of you, a son or a daughter, or a young person that you care for, that you've been responsible for. Again, for some of you it might be a young person leaving home for the first time, to go to college or to get married or something of that sort as well. And there might be understandably some difficulty in that, or they may be even embarking on a career path, or a path of learning, or even a new job or something of that sort. You may not be on board with it, but again, this is part of their path and something that they kind of have to do. For others of you, this might be a message coming in. Again, that's about this ending, and about the need to kind of leave and walk away from something which has run its course. And you may actually find that something has been disappointing or disillusioning, and you're making up your mind to leave or turn your back on it and move forward, because that Page of Knight is clarified by the Eight of Cups, which is a card of sometimes of being disappointed, disillusioned, but leaving something behind which has pretty much run its course. You might not have drunk from all of these cups, but you've drunk from enough to know that this is not what you want, or that it's simply run its course. And it's right next to the World card too. So here's the ending, with the first card next to it being that defensive card. There's a new offer or opportunity, but it's going to mean that something has to end, or a way of doing something, or a relationship or a situation has to end, and it's meant to end. It's run its course, and it's time to leave. It's time to move forward, to leave behind whatever this is, whatever this was. It's something that's been there for quite some time. Again, for a lot of you, I kind of get the feeling that it's not so much a complete ending in terms of a cutting off or a separation, but an ending in terms of the way that you do something. If it's a relationship, it's transitioning into something different. It's not going to be within the same dynamics as it was, etc. Now at or towards the end of the month, we have the Queen of Wands and the Ten of Wands. I don't really feel like this is a love and romance situation so much, although for some of you it might be. Again, I feel like either you or someone close to you is moving on into a different part of their path or future, and there is some resistance to that, but it's a resistance that comes that a lot of us have in being resistant to things changing. It's not so much that they're ending in terms of something being completely ripped away from you, it's just that they're changing and transitioning, and either you or somebody else may be having difficulty with that. But again, strong message here that it's time for this to happen. This is an inevitable natural ending. So the Queen of Wands and the Ten of Wands. So the Queen of Wands might be a fire sign individual, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or somebody strongly manifesting as the Queen of Wands, showing up as a female, but it could be a male. Energetic, dynamic, charismatic, passionate, fiery, a good delegator, a good leader, a good problem solver, probably easy on the eyes. Now, this could be a fire sign individual that might be significant to you in this, Gemini. It could be also some of you needing to manifest this Queen of Wands energy, or kind of coming into this at the end of the month, because the Queen of Wands gets things done. She doesn't tend to rest on her laurels for very long. She's very assertive and aggressive sometimes, even, particularly in the realm of, I mean, for those of you for whom you are a mother and this has something to do with your child transitioning into a different path, even though you may not like it or not. The Queen of Wands knows when it's time to let go, because whether it's you or someone close to you, this new beginning, this new opportunity, this new path is meant to be. And even if it's somebody close to you, it also means that there's a new beginning for you too, just in a different sort of way. And the Queen of Wands understands that, and she rolls her sleeves up and gets on with it. But for some of you, it might be another individual who's significant to you in this somehow. Now, it's clarified with the Ten of Wands. So here we have another card of ending. Tens represent completion or cycles ending, culmination, reaching the end. The Ten of Wands can sometimes represent feeling overwhelmed, a heavy burden, but it's coming to an end. There's something cycling to a close, and needs to, because it's simply become too heavy, too cumbersome. It could be an actual weight you've had to bear, a cross you've had to bear, or something you've put a lot of time and attention into. There's this strong theme, Gemini, throughout the month of February, about, I mean, the overall energy, the focus is on whatever this new beginning is, this exciting new beginning or opportunity is. But there's also this very strong underlying theme of things coming to a close and needing to come to a close. You need to leave something behind. It's no longer working. It's run its course. Perhaps it's become a heavy burden, or the amount of work and attention you've put into it is now at an end, and you need to lay the wands down because it's time for you to move on into something else. I mean, in the bottom line of cards here, we have that World, major completion, major fulfillment. You know, the top of this mountain has been scaled. You're at the top. Next to it, we have this Eight of Cups, so leaving behind what doesn't work anymore, what's come to an end. And then the Ten of Wands, also something cycling down to an end. I feel like a lot of you, whatever the Six of Cups represent, this thing that's been in place for quite some time, whether it's a relationship or a relationship in a certain way, dynamics being set up in a certain way, or a situation, it could be a job, work, or career situation. I feel like whatever it is that needs to be left behind that's been there for quite some time, I feel like you've put a lot into this. Some of you, it looks like you may be leaving a situation that's no longer satisfying for you. It's just become quite a burden for you. Again, it could be a relationship for some of you, but I'm not really getting much of anything in terms of the love romance. It feels like if it's a relationship, I feel like it's more, or something transitioning, I feel like it's more family oriented than actual romance oriented. And again, I feel more like something transitioning into something different rather than a complete separation and cut off, like, you know, you're never going to see somebody again. That's not what I'm getting. It's a little bit murky, but I think it's going to resonate with those that for whom it's meant to resonate for. There is this kind of energy more in the beginning of the month than the end of the month, of kind of resistance to change, whether it's you or someone close to you. It could be somebody close to you is resistant to your starting off on a new path of something else, but it needs to, because whatever it is that you've been doing is no longer working. It's not satisfying for you anymore. It's run its course. It's time for you definitely to move on. Let me pull an additional guidance card for you, Gemini, for February. The High Priestess, pay attention to your intuition, your gut instinct, your higher self, some people call it. Not necessarily those surface emotions, because surface emotions here are these resistance, perhaps fear of moving forward. The High Priestess is about paying attention to your instincts, your intuition, that conduit between you and Source. Pay attention to repeating ideas and clarifications, those things in your stomach that tell you what's the right path or not. Repeating dreams, these are messages from God, Spirit, your angels and guides. So pay attention to your instincts and intuition. Remember that whether it's you or somebody close to you, whatever is being left behind, whatever is being transitioned out of is meant to. You're transitioning into a new phase, and it's definitely meant to be. And even if it's someone close to you, Gemini, who's transitioning into a new phase, try not to feed too much energy into the fact that you might be left behind, or that they're going off and doing this and you're not, because it can also represent a new opportunity for you to transition and grow and evolve as well. So Gemini, that pretty much wraps up your February 2019 general reading. I hope you found it helpful, or will continue to find it helpful as the month goes on. Again, if anyone is interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me, please feel free to email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I'd be delighted to work with you. I do love and romance, of course, compatibility readings, career, work, and finance, as well as investment readings. And I also do 6 and 12-month overviews, which take a look at what's coming in your life over the next 6 or 12 months, depending on how far ahead you want to look. And while you can order those any time of the year, they seem to be particularly popular around the end of the year and the beginning of a new year, so something else to consider. And you can also find me on the smartphone app Instantgo under Irish Gypsy, and that link is also included. That's good for quick answers to the quick, easy, simpler questions than the more intensive questions or traditional readings. So another option for you. You can find all that info and contact details by clicking on the description bar below, or the description bar attached to any video I post. And you can also go to my YouTube channel's homepage and click on the About button there for that info as well. I will see you all again in a couple of weeks for the February 2019 mid-month readings, Gemini. And until then, as always, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life. Take care, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.